So this is a video tutorial for Zoom and how to get set up and get going with your Zoom program. So the best way to get you started is to go to the website zoomus/education, and then when you're on here you can just sign in, or actually sign up. It's free. So you click sign up, it's free. If you want to create with a work email address, you can certainly do that. You can also sign in with Google, and it will ask you to put a sign in. And I will sign in with my Google account. And I'm not going to save this because I don't care. We're going to create my account, and we're in. It's that simple. Very easy for you to get started setting up your Zoom account. And so now that you're in here, we can kind of go through some of the basics of your presentation. So, or getting you started with scheduling a meeting. So right off the bat, I want you to go to your settings. So right here, if you find a little N, if you have a picture in your Google account, your profile picture will show up. But if you click on this, this goes to your settings, okay? Over on the right-hand side under settings, so these are just your general settings. If you click on settings over here, and then you scroll to kind of the middle of the screen, it will show you here require a password when scheduling new meetings or require a password for instant meetings. I turn these off right away. I don't want these. If I want to do a quick meeting with a kid or send them out some information or just give them the code through email or something, these things are all just real quick. Here's my meeting code. Let's go. Let's get going. So now that we've got that, you just clicked your save. And you're off and running. Very, very simple to do. And you can turn these back on if you want to. So then at the top, you have schedule a meeting. So you can click on schedule a meeting at the top. So if you know that you are going to do a recurring meeting with students every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, whatever it's going to be, you just get that started. So right in here, we're going to say my meeting. And I'll go into my meeting. I'm just going to call this testing meeting. And if you want to enter a description, you can do that. When are we going to meet? We're going to meet today at, let's say, 2:30. And you can change this too. So if I want to get more specific, I can say we're going to meet at 2:20 p.m. How long is my duration going to be? We're good to go. And then if it's going to be a recurring meeting, you click on recurring meeting and you get how often you want this to recur. Do you want it to be daily? How often does it repeat? Does it repeat every day? Does it repeat every 6 days? How often does it repeat? Maybe you're going to do it weekly. We're only going to meet once a week. You choose the day you're going to have it meet, and you can choose your end date. So maybe we want to do June 1st. There we go. We meet once a week, every Friday at 2:30 to get started. And then at the bottom of your screen, I choose to mute participants upon entry of my meeting. Then I also choose, for me, because if you're going to be talking with students and maybe some students can't make your meeting, but you want them to get the information later on, I just set this to record the meeting automatically on my local computer. So then you will get a file on your machine that will automatically record what you were doing with all your students. So I'm going to click Save. And now here's our meeting information. So you have all your information right here. You can look at all this stuff. You can see how we did. And then you want to copy the invitation. So you'll take your invitation, and because we're doing it every week, we've got all the dates on here. So the students can check this out and do that information later on, okay? So I'm going to copy the meeting invitation. We got that. Once you've copied that information to the clipboard, you are going to go into your Google Classroom and you are just going to get yourself set up. So again, let's just copy meeting invitation. You see up here it says copy to clipboard. You go up to your to your classroom, and then I don't put it here in the stream. I would put it under classwork. So you go to create, and I will do a material because it's not an assignment. You're not asking the students a question. So I'm going to post this under material. Okay. So your title for your material is going to be Zoom meeting. And if you want, you can call it weekly Zoom meeting. So we've got our weekly Zoom meeting. And then in your description, this is where you're going to paste your information. So here you can see that we've got our recurring meeting happening every Friday at 2:20. Here is our Zoom meeting code, and we're all set. Then for you, I would create a topic. This is just easy for the students to find. So the topic that we're going to call this is, I'm just going to call it a meeting. And it's going to go out to all your students that are in your class. And then you can schedule this to go out when you want, or you can just post it. And I'm just going to post it. So now the students will see it. They'll see in their stream that I posted new material. In their classwork, they can click on this, and they can click on the link right here for the Zoom meeting, and they're off and running, and they're ready to go. So now let's talk about a couple of other things, okay? So if I'm in here and I just want to start the meeting, okay, so now that now that we're ready to go, we've got our meetings. So you have a meeting scheduled and ready to go. So in your home, you can just create a new meeting if you want. Start with video, give people your personal ID. You can join a meeting, you can share your screen, schedule your meeting from the Zoom application, okay? But if you go over here to your meetings, you already have your meeting all ready to go. So we're going to start my meeting. And I'm going to join with computer audio, and we're ready to go. This is perfect. This is exactly what we want, okay? So you can see here that I can start my video. Hi, got my video going. I can turn my video off. In your chat, you have the option to, down at the bottom, I'll make this a little bit smaller so we can see it. You have the ability to participants can chat with no one, so you can turn your chat off completely in your Zoom meeting. They can chat only with you as the host. They can chat with everybody, but everybody can chat publicly. Or they can chat with everybody publicly and privately. So if I were you, I would leave it to either everyone publicly, or they can only chat with you. The other thing you can do is you can attach files in your chat. So if you have information that you want to push out to students while you're chatting with them in your session, you can push out information from various locations. The two that I'm going to just reference are your Google Drive and from your computer. So if you have a file you want to share with students on your computer, you can click on that, and it'll give you your computer to pick files from. Same with your Google Drive. It'll find things that are available in your Google Drive. Okay. So when you click record, now we are recording using our recording feature in our Zoom meeting. You also can then look at your participants over on the side, so you can manage your participants, and you can see students when I have more. You'll be able to see if you see their managed participants, you'll be able to see that the microphone is working, but they do not have video on. Okay, and you also have the option then to turn students off. You can mute their screen, you can turn off their video camera. They can enable it again back to you, but you can't, but you can turn them off. So if you want them to be completely off, okay? And the other thing you can do is you can share your screen. So any program that you have running, you can share your screen with, okay? So for example, if I want to share my Firefox screen, I click on that and I click share. And here's my Firefox screen. So you can see everything that's going on here. And then up above in my tools, I can actually annotate on top of this, and I get some tools. So I have my mouse, I have my select tool, I can add text, I can add stamps, but the drawing feature, if you want to, I also have my erase feature. You can change your colors. If I want to put a stamp on there, great job meeting. So you can do a few different things with your presentation, with some of your tools. Okay, so I want to only one student can share at a time. So if you are going to share and you want the other students to share, then you have to stop sharing your screen and allow them to share their screen. So I'm going to click the stop share button at the top, and now I am back to my information, my Zoom screen, and that's essentially all that needs to be done. So I'm going to say my Zoom meeting is done. I'm going to end my meeting. And this is important. So you get the choice to cancel this. So no, I don't want to leave yet. You can leave the meeting yourself, or you can end the meeting for all. And since you're in charge of it, I would recommend ending the meeting for everyone. Then that way all of your students who are in the meeting, everybody gets kicked out at once, and the students don't get to stay behind and video chat with one another. So I'm going to end the meeting for all. Now, because I recorded the file, it says here that the recorded file will be converted to an MP4. So the file is done and it is now saved locally to my machine, and here it is. This is my file. Okay? So here's the great thing that you can do with this document, is you can take your Zoom file that we just made, and you can go to your YouTube channel. And YouTube, if you have a Google account, you get an automatic YouTube account with your Google account. You click Upload Video, select your file, and then in your documents you have a Zoom folder. And the Zoom folder is listed specifically by date. Okay? So we did one here at 2:29. Here is my MP4 video. I'm going to open, and the file is just going to drop into YouTube. And I'm going to label this, I'm going to call this a test video. We'll call it a Zoom test video. And as you are filling out your information, it's processing. You can see at the bottom 35% is processed. We have 6 seconds left. I'm not going to add it to my playlist. Make sure that you say no, it's not made for kids, because we don't want that specific filter on there. You shouldn't have anything inappropriate in your video anyway, so it's not that big a deal. And then we don't want to restrict. A couple of other things that I like to turn on is I will turn on my language. So then if students want to do closed captioning, they can turn on closed captioning for the video. So we've got this. And then I'm just going to, content has never aired on television. I don't care about my recording date, standard YouTube licensing. I turn off allow embedding because I don't want they don't need to take this and put it anywhere else for embedding. We can publish the subscription to the feed. This is educational, so I'm going to set it as educational down here. And then I'm going to turn off all comments. I don't need students leaving comments on my YouTube video. If you want, you can turn on the likes and dislikes, or you can turn that off. Okay? You can choose your thumbnail. Once it uploads, you can decide which thumbnail you want or best represents your video. And then I'm going to choose visibility here. I'm going to make it unlisted. So the thing about this is, if it's unlisted, then students can't search it on YouTube. So they need specifically the video link to be able to find your video. So now that I'm done, I can just click save, and the video has uploaded. So here you go. I can share it out multiple ways if I want to. These are all the different ways I can share it out. But what I want to do is I just want to copy the video link here. So that link is copied. I'm going to go back into my classroom, and I'm going to create another material. And I'm going to call this the Zoom meeting, and I'm going to call it from today. So today is the 20th, 3/20/20. Okay, and then the description is, if you were unable to attend, please watch this video. Okay, so got that. I'm going to add my YouTube. You can search for it here, but since you've made it unlisted, it's not going to be available to search. So you have to go up to the URL, and you have to paste in your Zoom test video, or the video, this link here. You have to paste this video link into your classroom. And then you're just going to click add. I'm going to change my topic to meeting so that it's easy to find. Zoom meeting recording. I'm going to call it a recording from 3/20/20. And I'm going to post this. So now, when the kids come into your classroom and they click on meeting, they'll be able to see, okay, here's my new weekly Zoom meeting link. So we're good to go there. But here is my video from the recording. That's awesome. We're good to go for that. Zoom meeting recording from 3/20/20. So the kids can click on this, and then it just loads right in their browser. So they can just start watching their video they can start watching the video right in here and catch up on anything that they've missed. That is a brief little overview for Zoom for you to get started. If you have not downloaded Zoom onto your computer, you'll be prompted to download it here. So you just kind of click your link. It should download here depending on what browser you're using. If it's in Chrome, it'll show up in the bottom left-hand corner. But you just download the file, click open. It'll install it real quick and easy, and then you just log in the way that you've kind of created your account to get yourself logged in. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I am more than happy to answer any questions you might have.